Animal Wednesday. I'm Mrs. Laura.
And I'm Alexis.
And we're going to travel all around the world learning about different amphibians and reptiles.
Today, we're going to Africa to learn about the chameleon.
That's right. Now, the chameleon will live actually on most of Africa in the deserts and rainforests, but there's an especially high concentration on the island of Madagascar. So join us as we learn more facts about the chameleon.
My song about reptiles. All reptiles breathe its lungs, and yeah, all reptiles have dry scales, oh yeah. All reptiles are cold-blooded, yeah!
Chameleons are lizards that can change color. Now, it used to be thought that they change their color to camouflage with their environment, but in fact, their colors change actually because of emotion, whether they're fearful or angry or scared. So chameleons' eyes are much like a camera, and they can actually zoom in to see things more clearly. Another fun fact about their eyes is each one can look in a different direction. Can you do that? Let's see if I can. Am I looking in two directions?
Not quite.
Well, I'm not a chameleon. Chameleons actually do have 5 toes, just like we do, but they're actually grouped into 2 sections, 2 toes and 3 toes. And this allows them to hang onto that branch and grip it firmly so they don't fall out of the trees. Chameleons eat insects, and they often live alone. Chameleons move slowly, but their tongues are fast, and their prey really has no chance when they get a hold of that sticky tongue. Although chameleons spend most of their lives in the trees or bushes, they will come down to the ground to nest and lay their eggs. So the female chameleon will lay these leathery-like eggs in the ground. With some species of chameleon, it'll only take about 3 months for those to hatch. Others will take 2 years. While most chameleons do live in the rainforest, there are a few species that live in the desert. Once chameleons hatch, they're actually on their own. The mother and father do not care for the young.
Poor babies!
This picture here shows a great example of the texture of a reptile egg. You can see how it's leathery and soft. It's not quite hard like a bird egg would be, and it's not soft and jelly-like like the amphibian egg. The reptile egg is a whole different kind of egg with a soft, leathery texture. So chameleons have an amazing tongue. It can stretch out twice the length of its body and is so fast that it quickly snatches up insects. Chameleons do eat insects, but they'll also eat berries and leaves, making them omnivores.
Some chameleons can be as little as this penny, and their eggs can be as big as Abraham Lincoln's head on the penny. Others are as big as house cats! They all have curly tails. This helps them hang on to the branches. Chameleons can look in 2 directions. They can look one direction for food and one direction for predators. Look at that amazing chameleon tongue. I wish I have such a long tongue, I could grab that orange way over there. Did you know there's more than 180 kinds of chameleons? The smallest one can fit on a matchstick. Think of how small that is. And did you know that the chameleon, its tongue could literally reach across the room? Do you know how chameleons change color? Well, they have these crystals on their body that reflect with the sun, and that's how it changes color. Did you know that a chameleon will actually grow darker if it's cold and it'll grow lighter if it's hot? Look inside the chameleon.
Isn't that cool? So you can see the backbone. As we know, reptiles are vertebrates, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And look, you can really see the toes and how there's 2 toes and 3 toes on each side. And look at that cool bone onto its tongue even. Now let's draw our chameleon. So I like to look at the photograph of the chameleon and just notice the shapes. You can see its casque kind of is a interesting shaped triangle. Even its mouth area is a little bit of a triangle shape. There's obviously a large curve on the back, and look at all those little tiny triangles to make up the dorsal crest, and of course circles in the tail. And that's why I kind of like to look around. I like to look around and just see the different shapes, and that's what I'm going to mimic when I draw. At first, actually, I was going to choose this chameleon. I like this one as well, but then I kind of liked how this one's tail was curled a little more, even though it's not curled on the branch like this one is. So, you know, this has worked, but the typical look that I think of with a chameleon has a little curved tail like that. So let's start drawing. I'm going to start with actually that triangle, soft, what I call a soft triangle shaped mouth. And then we're going to go up to the casque up here, the head crest. Definitely reminds me of a dinosaur, the way the casque is. And then I'm going to draw the back first, and then I'll draw the dorsal crest. So the back is just a large curve, and as you can see, it kind of loops around the tail. And I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to draw on top of the tail with where the branch goes and things like that, and the feet. It's just easier if you just do one smooth line and it's not broken up. So now we've got the chin underneath here. Right about here, we're going to start the front leg here, and we're going to go. They have fairly skinny legs. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a frog leg as well. Kind of cute. And if you remember, they have that two-part hand in a sense that has the two fingers kind of going this way and then three going this way, but in a sense they're actually combined into one. So we're basically going to draw like one piece, but we're going to separate it into three pieces. And again, over here, we're drawing one piece, separating it into two. And then this is where our branch is going to be. So I'm going to make the branch kind of start off this way. There we go. And let's get his little throat and chest area here, and his belly. We're going to connect his belly. He's going to go a little bit above his tail here, and that's okay because we can erase that part there. And then his back leg here, we only are kind of seeing just part of his back leg that is actually hanging onto the branch there. And we only see one side of his foot, but I might actually draw both just to kind of, again, reiterate the two-part foot. And again, it's got 3 toes on one side, 2 on the other. And then all these little areas here we can just erase where we're accidentally going on top. And then when we color it, that'll also cover it up as well. So we're going to have the branch kind of go straight down here. It's going to be kind of a crooked branch here. It's going to go up through here and loop around here is where this branch is going to go. So that means I need to erase this loop on the tail, and we need to erase this part of the tail as well that's on top of the branch. There, and like I said, it's easier if you just draw all that tail first and just erase on top of it. And then they have that crazy eye that's like that circle, that tunnel eye that we learned was so much like a camera where it can zoom in and out, it can look all around. They can even look in 2 different directions. So it's just a very small central part of the eye. The rest of this is actually going to be colored when we color it. I'm going to just draw its mouth. And if you want to, you could even draw a long sticky tongue getting its little bug. It does have 2 nostrils, and you could draw just one if you're drawing it just for the one side. Now we're going to work on that dorsal crest. So that dorsal crest is just little triangles all up and down their back. And different chameleons are going to have a different size dorsal crest. So some actually might kind of go up a little bit more, and others are a little flatter. One of the main reasons I chose this chameleon actually is because I just love the coloring on it. It's so, so pretty. And then the dorsal crest actually does get smaller as you get to the tail. crest. Now underneath it actually has a ventral crest. So we're also going to draw that. That's kind of cool. As we know, they have scales that have these crystals on them. They actually have different pigments of color. And that's how they can change color. And even though that was a myth that they would change color for camouflage, they actually change color because of emotion. And some of these little areas we're actually going to do more with the coloring. So now we have our chameleon, the basic outline drawn. Now we're going to work on doing some coloring. And this one, it just has beautiful, beautiful colors. I'm actually going to start with the yellow stripes, kind of down its back a little bit here. I like to start with my yellow if I can. And as you can see, the coloring goes up into the dorsal crest area as well. So I'm just going to do a large yellow area here. And as you can see, it's outlined in orange, and it also has blue spots inside the yellow, which is kind of cool. You just can't make this kind of stuff up. This is just a really cool design. Now the orange, kind of, as you can see, kind of outlines around the yellow, and then even kind of has some other little interesting shapes around the yellow portions, and then it adds a little bit more orange even in this dorsal crest area. And then this one especially is very interesting. I noticed it's got like a bump on the side there. And then even over here it has a very unique kind of orange spot that kind of comes out like this. Very cool.
Guess what, Mommy?
What, honey?
At the bottom, I have fun facts.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a really good idea. You could do like a did you know, fun fact. That adds a really nice element to it because it makes it a little more interesting than if you just have them all written in a row, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When you're like, well,
Here's
fun.
what I have so far.
Let's hear it.
Chameleons can zoom in with their eyes to see things closer. They can change color when they are hot or cold. They will turn lighter if they are too hot, and they
Cool.
will. That's all I have so far.
No, that's good. You're getting some good facts going. Science changes, like from when I was a kid to when you're a kid, because they're discovering more and more things.
Liking the chameleon.
I know, the chameleon's cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
He's a really cool creature. Now I'm actually going to fill in most of the rest of the chameleon with this turquoise color, with the exception of the head has a lot of the pink and purple. But I'm going to fill in most of the chameleon with this turquoise color and then put some of the other, like the greens and the blues, on top of it. Go ahead and do a lot. There's a lot of purple in the legs. I'm going to go ahead and do the purple in the legs, fill in the purple in the tail, and then put a little bit of purple also on the head as well. Now I'm going to use the blue just to kind of put in all these little blue spots. There's actually little blue spots not just on the yellow, but literally all around the chameleon. There's little darker blue spots I'm going to go ahead and fill in right now. I'm going to use the pink to go ahead and fill in a lot of the head area here, and also the casque area has a lot of pink in it. Now, there's also just a little bit of pink all around that I'm just going to fill in. I'm going wanted to use my yellow because I noticed actually most of the ventral crest down here is actually more of a yellowish color. So I'm going to use that to color in the ventral crest and then just kind of fill in all sorts of different other areas on my chameleon. I'm going to use this purple actually because you can see the markings on the chameleon around his eye here that I'm going to use the purple for. I've outlined some of the areas like the casque here and the legs with the kind of violet pinkish purple. And then I'm going to actually outline the rest in this beautiful teal color. And now last, I'm actually going to just color the little branch that my chameleon is on. So what I do is I kind of outline the edges of it. And then to kind of mimic a little bit of the wood grain. Now actually this is actually a plant that this chameleon's on, so it's actually a very smooth looking one. I want to give it just a little dimension by drawing some lines, and then I'm going to color in with a different color. And same thing here. And it's nice because after you color your chameleon, you notice like giving it just an outline in a different color just really kind of helps it stand out a little bit more. It's a great way to finish off your coloring. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of a lighter color and just color this one in. And again, it could be a green stem. You could also draw the background. There's a lot of vegetation in the background that you could draw. You could even draw a fun little bug flying around and the chameleon catching the bug.
So this is the diagram that I copied, and I had mine with his tongue with a little bug, and on this side I wrote some facts.
Well, thanks for drawing with us, everyone. Now, we like to get a lot of different books, and in fact, we read a lot more chameleon books than we actually used in our video today. But the four that we've specifically shared during our video were Rainforest Animals Chameleons by Golritz Golkar.
And we have Super Chameleons by Kieran Jenny.
And then also we have Chameleons by Grace Henson. And this one is part of the Abdo Kids series, and they have some great books. The reason why I really like them actually is because they have these big, giant, beautiful pictures and very simple, easy words. So we've actually used the Abdo Kids book a lot. They're a great series, and you can check them out at your local library.
And we have Chameleons by Leo Stats.
And we just really want to encourage everyone to go to your local library, check out some books, research a subject. There's so much wonderful knowledge out there for you to learn. And in fact, so many new books that were just published in 2020 and 2021 even, that are all at your disposal just to learn. So thanks for learning with us. We hope you enjoyed learning about chameleons. Bye, everybody.
So a butterfly flaps its way, then, uh-oh, it gets stuck on the tongue. Then goes in its mouth, through here,
Stomach.
and then...
Although chameleon... Oops.
Okay,
Smile already? Or say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody!
Ha 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 ha!